Have you been seeing what's going on in Nigeria? Nigerians from the US to Lagos are in the streets and online demanding an end to the notoriously corrupt police division with the movement called End SARS. All across the world, Nigerians are united in a public outcry to protect the country's citizens from any further brutalization. The timing and common thread of a failed policing system has, of course, garnered international attention. So here's the backstory. SARS, short for Special Anti-Robbery Squad, was established in 1992 to fight against highly violent crimes such as kidnapping and armed robbery. Instead, the special unit has been extorting, harassing, and killing Nigerians for almost 3 decades. For example, it was reported that in 2010, SARS and other police units made 9.35 billion naira, which is about 60 million US dollars, from extortion and fake roadblocks within a period of 18 months. Nowadays, the SARS units are targeting younger people who look like they have money, falsely accusing them of internet fraud, and doing whatever possible to extort money from them. A lot of young men and women claim that SARS are profiling them just for looking good and owning smartphones. Check out what this woman is saying.
We want to be fresh. We want to be fresh. We don't want to look like farmers. Leave us alone.
Earlier this month, Nigerian President Mohamed Adamu announced that he'd be ending SARS for good, but instead replaced them with a SWAT team unit. We might have some young Nigerian brothers and sisters protesting, but they weren't born yesterday. You can't just end a unit, but have the same exact people who were abusing and taking innocent lives still out there wreaking havoc. That's not how this works. The Nigerian people want justice, not a title change. Nigerian musician Davido, who's been on the ground working to help release protesters from jail, listed the demands that the people are asking for. These demands are directed toward the Inspector General of Police and include justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and adequate compensation for the families. That's number 1. 2, setting up an independent team to investigate all reports of police brutality. 3, psychological evaluations and retraining of the police officers before they can be deployed. 4, charging officers who've committed offenses and retraining the rest of the police force. 5, and one of the most important, increase the police salaries so that they're adequately compensated. I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing an uprising across the borders right now. Movements in the US and Africa have historically inspired one another. After Fela came to the US in the 1960s and saw what leaders like Malcolm X and the Black Panthers had built, he went back to Nigeria and used his music as a way to spread revolutionary ideas against government oppression. Fela was arrested about 200 times by Nigerian police. His records like Zombie and Beast of No Nation became the inspiration for public attacks on the oppressive Nigerian government, leading the police to constantly look for reasons just to arrest Fela and raid his club. Fela was fearless, and although he passed away a couple years before Nigeria became a democratic country, his efforts were fuel for the change. So let's send our Nigerian brothers and sisters some love right now. The people of Nigeria deserve a better life, and not one based on fear of police and terrorism. They deserve a governmental system that promotes their safety. The influence of Nigeria in America is strong and vice versa. And as the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Nigerian artists like Toby Nwigwe, Jadena, Burna Boy, the homie Ugo have been doing their part by shining light on these issues while showing their community support. Every generation has a responsibility to make things a little bit better than the last one. Young people want a new Nigeria, and they're demanding that. This weekend, Las Vegas, Dallas, Chicago, Oakland, Seattle, and Providence will be holding protests in solidarity for our Nigerian brothers and sisters. To see the full schedule, go to Amplify Africa. To donate or get involved, join the Feminist Coalition and Connected Development. And as my Nigerian brothers and sisters will say, Soro Soke. This is Jason Aaron. Stay tuned to Revolt Black News.